The first question is, what is your pregame ritual?
My pregame ritual is nothing too exciting. I get to the stadium about 3.5 hours before the game. I always like to read the program from front to back. By the end of the season, I pretty much have the pregame program memorized. That's kind of my one consistent part of my ritual. I wouldn't call it a superstition. I just call it consistency. And then I always go out on the field about 2 hours before the game and throw some routes with Reggie Wayne. It used to be always Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Now it's just Reggie Wayne, and that just kind of gets me in a good frame of mind before the game. I have a good, just good visual imagery of what it's like to complete a pass on this stadium wherever we're playing. Puts me in a good frame of mind, and then after that, kickoff's about an hour later, and we're ready to go.
What pumps you up before stepping on the field?
Well, there's only 16 games each season in the NFL that you're guaranteed, and you put so much time into the week in preparation for that game. So when kickoff finally is getting closer, when it's getting closer to 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, or if you're playing on prime time to the night game, you just get excited about going out there, using that hard work that you and your teammates have put in during the week to go out and try to help your team win a game.
What is your favorite high school sports moment?
Probably my favorite high school sports moment was my sophomore year when I was the quarterback on the team. My older brother Cooper was my wide receiver. Just the fact that he and I got to play together on a team in uniforms with coaches and real equipment. Cooper and I grew up playing together in the backyard or playing in the neighbor's yard with all of our friends and neighbors. We never got to play on the same football team because we were always 2 years apart. So that one year, my sophomore year, 1992, I want to say, probably my most enjoyable year playing football because of all the times that he and I grew up playing together. We had our own signals, had our own special plays, and finally got to put that together on a real football field. That was a lot of fun.
When did you develop a love for football?
It's hard to say when I think it just developed over time. My dad played quarterback, so I always loved having the chance to go to practices with him, go down in the locker room after games when he was playing. And then once I got into junior high and started playing football, I just loved it more and more each year. But I think it was healthy that when I was a younger age child in lower school and in 5th, 6th grade, I didn't play organized football. I just played backyard, played at recess. I think it's important to be out there just playing, being active. I think your first experience in football needs to be a positive one, and it was for me, and I loved it more and more each year.
What's your favorite win from within moment?
Win from within moment. It's hard to say a specific moment, but obviously, like I was saying earlier, getting ready for a game, you put so much time into preparation, studying film on your own, doing extra weightlifting, throwing extra passes with a receiver after practice. So you do put so much time into it. So I think what's exciting for me sometimes is maybe a certain route that me and a receiver, that me and Reggie Wayne or me and Dallas Clark have worked on after practice, and then you take that and that route comes up during the course of a game, maybe in the 3rd or 4th quarter at a crucial moment, and it works just the way you practiced it after practice. That's a win from within moment, in my opinion. It's special. You took the time, the extra time to work on it, to perfect it. It came to fruition, and it paid great dividends for you.
Do you and Eli share any game day advice?
Eli and I don't talk on game day. Eli and I usually talk Sunday after the game, then we'll usually talk maybe Friday before the upcoming game. So Sunday, not a whole lot of advice at that point from anybody besides, I think, your coaches. It's kind of time to play, and so that's kind of our tradition. We usually talk Sunday about the previous game we just played, then Friday we'll talk a little bit about the opponents that we have coming up.
If you weren't a quarterback, what would you want to do?
Oh, it's hard to say. I've always enjoyed playing quarterback. I've never taken for granted the ability to play quarterback and to be playing in a team game. Football is the ultimate team game, and I love it because you got 11 guys out there on offense. Everybody has to do their job, and I've spent a lot of time preparing for it and working toward it. So I still enjoy doing what I'm doing right now.
How does it feel to play in the Super Bowl?
It's a great feeling. I know I keep repeating myself, but it kind of goes, if you just expand the idea of working so hard during a week to get ready for that game. Now you talk about working so hard all off season, starting in March and April on into through the summer, and then 2-a-days in August when it's hot out there. All throughout the season, you work so hard to give yourself a chance just to get into the playoffs, and then in the playoffs, hopefully you get hot at the right time and you win 2 or 3 games and have a chance to play in the Super Bowl. So it is a special feeling. It's a special week, knowing that you're about to play in the big game. It's one that it's been fun to celebrate the week with your teammates and coaches because you all did it together, and it's truly a special feeling.
If you could pick a theme song to your life, what would it be?
That is hard to say. I don't know if I've ever been asked that question. There's not many questions I don't think that I've never been asked, but I need to think about that. I don't want to rush that answer because I have to come up with a really good song. So,
all right, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
What is your favorite family tradition?
Favorite family tradition? It's hard to say. You know, our family's been haven't been together as a group on special occasions like Thanksgiving or Christmas in such a long time. But growing up, you know, I would say Thanksgiving was always special. Eating eating a great home cooked meal from my mom, then watching a little football after that. Thursday, Thanksgiving football. That was always a great one for me and my brothers growing up.
Which game in your career has been the most memorable?
It's hard to pick one. It really is. I think you remember kind of your first of a lot of things, your first touchdown pass, your first win as a quarterback, your first playoff game, those type things. So probably just all the different firsts along the way. Those are ones that kind of jump out.
And what role did has sports nutrition played in your rehab?
Well, sports nutrition has played a big role in my recovery, not just this year, but through all previous injuries. That it's not just about going in the weight room and the training room and doing exercises. You better have the fuel going in. You better have the right types of things in your body, and that's where Gatorade has taught me so much. That it's not just about hydration anymore. It's about sports nutrition, having the right types of things in your body, so when you go to train, you are at your best intensity level, energy level to go out and train at your best. And that's what I appreciate about Gatorade. And I think I probably didn't know all that as a young player. I've learned that through my relationship with Gatorade. So I think the fact that Gatorade now is teaching these rookies, hey, get this in your head now. You better be putting the right types of nutritional things in your body if you want to play at your high performance level. And but Gatorade is they've had such great resources, such great access to the knowledge that they have, and it's truly made a difference in my career.
Growing up, what NFL team did you root for?
Well, I grew up a New Orleans Saints fan, growing up in New Orleans, and then kind of whatever team my dad played for, the Oilers and the Vikings for a couple years. So I was kind of a fan of whatever team he played for.
What advice would you give to a high school athlete?
A high school athlete, I would just tell them to set goals. I do believe in that. Set a goal. Try to be the starter on the junior varsity. You know, try to earn the backup job here as a sophomore, then become the starter as a junior. To set goals and to work hard to achieve those goals, but also enjoy what you're doing. Don't do something because someone else tells you to do it. Do it because you enjoy doing it.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
Well, my parents have had a great impact on me. My dad was always my favorite football player growing up. He's given Eli and I both great advice through the years because he's played the position. He kind of knows all the things that come along with being an NFL quarterback, and so we've always appreciated the advice and support that he's given us.
What is your favorite Gatorade flavor? Lemon
lime. I'm lemon lime orange. It kind of depends on when you ask. You know, I think both of those. I'm kind of a throwback, if you will. I know there's lots of new flavors every single year. Lemon lime and orange. Those are my two go-tos.
What is your favorite post-game meal?
Favorite post-game meal? Living in Indianapolis, it's got to be a steak. This is a steakhouse city, and there's great options. But I've had a lot of good New York strips after a Colts game.
Do you have any crazy superstitions?
No.
Back to what song would be your personal theme?
Hey, not enough time for me to think of a good one. So next time we do a live chat, I will have a good answer, I can assure you.
Your final 30 minutes before you step on the field. I know you talked about reading the program and going out there. Anybody else in your team have any sort of crazy things they do that you look at them and say, wow, that's unusual?
Yeah, I'm not sure crazy. A lot of guys listen to music. You know, I'm not a big music guy before the game. A lot of guys, though, with headphones on, they'll tell you there's certain songs they want to listen to. That's probably the most consistent thing throughout our team and probably most NFL teams. That guys are listening to music, getting pumped up, getting ready to play before the game. So it's whatever it takes, whatever each player wants to do to get themselves ready to play, that's what you want them to do.
And I know we asked you like what you would do if you weren't a football player. If you could play any other position on your team, what position would you play?
I'm not sure I'd be qualified to play any other position. If I couldn't play quarterback, I'd probably just have to coach. I think that's probably what I'd be limited to. These guys there's so many great athletes out there, and these guys are so highly trained and such highly skilled at specific just athletic moves, playing safety, playing receiver, playing offensive tackle. So I think I'm geared kind of toward quarterback. If not, I'd probably have to coach.
Are there any other athletes who inspire you that are currently playing, not in football, or they could be in football, but other sports?
Well, sure. I enjoy watching lots of other athletes compete in respective sports. You know, golf, baseball, basketball, and I'm friends with a lot of these guys, and so it's fun to get to know them as people, not just watching them play out, you know, live or on TV. But I have great appreciation for just numerous athletes playing all different sports.
And then, what's your favorite memory from playing at Tennessee?
It's hard to pick one. I got to start as a quarterback there for 4 years, and I felt truly blessed and grateful to play at such a great university. Great passion for football there in the whole state of Tennessee, and it was truly just a great 4 years for me playing quarterback there, and I just have great memories.
Okay. The final questions. Second to last is, how do you stay focused during a game?
I think staying focused during a game is easy because you know it's a 60-minute game. You hear that term a lot. You got to play 60 minutes. I've seen games that we've lost in the last minute. I've seen games where we've won in the last minute, and so much is about what's going to happen in those final minutes of a game. And also there's about 3 or 4, maybe 5 plays that are going to determine the outcome of that game, and you don't know when they're going to happen. They're not always just in the last minute. It may be in the first quarter. That's why you have to be into the game every single minute during the game, because you don't know if that play is going to be the most important play. And
which players on the opposite teams, when you get on the football field, do you look across the line and I don't want to say fear, but you look at him and you say, wow, I hope I don't see this guy up close and personal?
Right. Well, there's a number of those. You know, for early on in my career, it was always Bruce Smith for the Buffalo Bills, and then probably Junior Seau for the San Diego Chargers. Those guys were guys you always knew where they were going to be. And then then Ray Lewis was probably, you know, kind of the guy throughout my career. He and I have had a lot of healthy battles against each other. You always wanted to be sure that your offensive line and running backs knew where number 52 for the Ravens is.
All right, Peyton, thanks a lot. Appreciate your time. Thanks to all the great questions that came in, and look for more chats later this week.
Okay, thanks for having me.